If you drive a beater car, does that mean you're broke? A lot of people think that they see somebody driving a ugly looking car that has rust, dents, and this car is like decades old, and they think that person must be struggling. That person must be broke. They can't afford a nice car. But in reality, I wanted to make this video because I think that it's the complete opposite, and people have it mixed up. And the majority of people are doing the wrong thing. The majority of people are going with the flow, and they're doing what other people are doing, and they're not really thinking or being intentional with their money. They think, I got a job, I'm an adult, so I buy a new car, and I have a car payment, and that's just the way it is. That's just life. And what they don't realize is that car payment is holding them back so much. It's keeping them broke, struggling, and if it's not doing that, it's definitely still holding you back from excelling more than you could have if you had no car payment. I drive a 2002 Toyota Camry LE. I bought it 5 years ago, and I bought it for $5,000. With tax and fees, it came out to like $5,600. And this car has been going strong for 5 whole years. I bought it at 87,000 miles, and I'm currently at like 150,000 miles. And the car is going strong, and I hope the car keeps going. I hope it goes till 200,000-300,000 miles. I want to use it as long as it can go. And if my car did die, like today, tomorrow, what I would buy is I would drop maximum like $10,000, and I would get either a RAV4 or like a Highlander. I saw on Car Gurus there was a Highlander for like 9.1 thousand, and it has about 70,000 miles. It's a 2009. Should have a backup camera, which my car doesn't have. And hopefully that car would last a long time. It has no accidents either. And that's what I would do. But the reason why I'm making this video is you might sense a bit of saltiness in my voice. And it's because people who drive beaters, they're on the receiving end of comments and that saltiness too, because people, they always need to justify their behavior, right? So if you bought a 2025 whatever brand new car, you have to justify your behavior. So you go and look at beater cars and you're like, oh my god, you drive that? Like, isn't that car like old, falling apart, still has a VHS player? You know, like, modern cars are so much better. Yours doesn't even have a backup camera. All this stuff, right? And we're always on the receiving end of that, right? Like, we have to hear the comments from our coworkers and from our friends, and they think that they have a point. And what's not good is a lot of times people fall for that, and they'll actually feel bad, and then they'll go into debt to buy a newer car. But the things you can do when you don't have a car payment is a lot. I know people that with the insurance and the car payment itself spend about $1,000 a month just on the car. For me, with insurance, I spend about $100 to own a car. And a car does the same thing, whether you're spending $1,000 a month or $100 a month. It takes you from this place to this place. That's it. You get in it, you drive it, and you get out. All the extra stuff, all the technology, the big screens, all the features, all of that. Is it worth $1,000 a month? I don't think so. If you invested $1,000 a month instead into like an index fund, like the S&P 500 for years, you know how much money you would have? But you're throwing it away in your nice car. And people could do whatever they want. And one day I will buy a brand new car, but that'll be when I have the money to purchase it in full. Right? I don't want to finance and I don't want to go into debt for a vehicle. That's pretty much what I felt like saying. It's been said before by the finance side of the internet and finance YouTubers, but it's not mainstream thought. When I go to work and I try to talk to people, I rarely come across someone that does the same thing that you read about online, right? The smart thing to do. That's very rare. Every time I ask somebody what's their car, it's always a new car or a couple years old, and they have a car bill every month. And no one sees anything wrong with that. But what really keeps people from saving and building their wealth is their car payment, credit cards, if you have credit card debt that has interest, student loans. Like, all these things are so normalized, and then people say where'd all my money go? How do I work all this time and my money just disappears? Well, you're giving your money away, and you don't realize it, or you don't think that it's bad because you just pick up on the habit. It's not even like somebody went to these people and said, you must finance a new car. It's worth it to buy a new car and pay monthly. No one goes up to you and says that. A lot of times you just see other people doing it, and you just pick up that behavior and that thought because you see it so much, and you just think, oh, okay, so that's what I'm gonna do then. Everyone else does it. But what if everyone was not being smart? What if most people were not being smart? What if most people were actually wasting a ton of money and were broke? There was this experiment, I don't know where it was from, it was on YouTube. You might be able to find it if you search it up, where there were a couple of actors in a waiting room, and then one real person came in, and what they would do is they would play the sound, like a bell sound, and then all of the actors would stand up and then sit back down. And the person that came into that room, they saw this behavior going on. They saw these people standing up, and they didn't know why, but what they started doing is they started copying the same behavior. So when the bell would go off, they would stand, not knowing why, just because you have to conform to your surroundings, to those around you. And that's kind of like what happens. You go through life, you grow up, and when you start your young adulthood, you just see everybody driving these new cars, and you think, okay, that's gonna be me now. Or spend $5,000 to $10,000 on an old car. I have no car payments, I have cheaper insurance, and all that extra money is mine to do whatever I want with. So I just felt like talking about that for my first video. If anybody watches this and has anything to say, I can make a response video, if people have different arguments and stuff like that. But I just felt like it needs to be said more. It needs to be more normalized that all of this debt and all of these companies are taking advantage of people, and they're making people broke. You're giving all your money away to these car companies to look nice and to show off, look, I have this car. Look, I have a new car. When no one really cares. The person at the stoplight doesn't care. And just because you have something nice doesn't mean you have money. It could mean the opposite. You probably have way less money than someone driving a beater because of that car. But society, they say, oh my God, look at that car. That guy must be wealthy. Or he might be broke. Anyway, that's it. See you guys.